discovered that as long as we're prepared and we have a routine to do, fear seems to go away a bit.
Welcome to Debt Proof Living with Mary Hunt. It's all about life, money, and how to live well and thrive within your means. Join Mary as she uses her own life experiences, warmth, and humor to show you the way out of debt and into a financial life of joy and peace. Debt Proof Living. It's just like giving yourself a raise.
Hi, everyone. It's Mary. I'm so happy you're here with me again today for this episode of our podcast, Debt Proof Living. Oh, we're going to talk about something that I had not planned more than maybe 24 hours ago. As we are recording, we are hearing a lot in the news about something called the 2019 novel coronavirus. And it is dated that 2019 because that's when it was discovered and named. So I don't know if they're planning on having more of these down the line, but at least this one is called 2019 novel coronavirus.
It sounds scary.
It does sound scary, doesn't it?
It does.
But listen, I wanted to do this kind of off our schedule of what we had planned because I want to encourage all of our listeners, our friends, our readers, that we can be prepared, not scared. This is not something new. I think that we look back in history and things like SARS, MRSA. There have been bird flu. There have been other scares like this of different viruses that have been named through the years, and they've been dealt with. And honestly, it's an amazing thing to me how the medical communities in our world are able to isolate, to study, and then to come up with vaccines, treatments, and so on. So I don't want to look at the great big picture right now. As we speak, we don't know what's what. The news is telling us some things. We don't know, exactly what's going on. So we deal with what we do know, okay? And I want to tell you, I have a surefire way that you will never, ever get sick with this virus.
Mary, I'm so glad we're doing this because I know some people in my house just got over the flu. And just whether you're dealing with something that sounds scary like this, or you want to be prepared and not scared, or you just don't want to get the flu.
That's right. Well, you know how to not get it?
How?
Don't get it.
Yeah, that's great. I just can't wait to hear what you're going to say because I really, really want to know.
Well, the thing is that we want to be proactive, not reactive, if possible. Now, we don't have control over everything. So, but if we can start thinking in proactive ways that we are ahead of the curve, okay, that is the way that we can reduce the chances of getting it, whatever it is. It may not be coronavirus, just whatever. Yeah, we've had the flu going around. So we want to establish some facts. It's true that right now there is currently no vaccine to prevent the 2009 NCOV, that's the nickname, infection.
I had no idea it was 2019. I thought it was 2020. I didn't know.
If you start looking for 2020, you're going to go,
it's wrong.
Whoa, something's wrong here.
I'm totally wrong. Okay. Yeah, tell us how to prevent it and what. Tell us all this.
Well, the best way to not get it is to not be exposed to it. And this came to mind because just a few hours ago, I was on an airplane. I travel quite a bit, and I was coming back from California. Waited for about an hour in the Santa Ana, Orange County Airport. And I've got to tell you something, just because I was aware of this from the news, I saw everything through new eyes.
I bet. Okay? Yeah.
I noticed people coughing. I noticed children picking their noses. I saw them eating and slobbering. And I hate to get graphic here, but we're talking about germ-carrying substances. I suppose that is the way it has always been. However, I started looking too at where these people might have come from because Orange County is not a huge hub, but it is a place where overseas flights come and land, and then people go off to their various cities here. And we know that this has originated in China. And so I saw that there were an awful lot of people on my flight who were all from Asian countries.
Yeah, that part of the world.
And it made me wish that I was more prepared. I used to be more prepared when I traveled a lot more. My carry-on bag, I had all kinds of preventive things and first aid things and little bottles of spray, this and that and the other thing. Honestly, I didn't have one thing with me, nothing.
No.
So I went to the gift shop, and I have a little routine that I do, and I've gotten lax about it, the routine I do when I get on the plane to sit down. So I want to tell you about that because I've got some great information, some wonderful resources, because I want you to be prepared, not scared. And I've discovered that as long as we're prepared and we have a routine to do, fear seems to go away a bit. Now, I'm the first to say we cannot control the future. God does that. We are in his hands. By his grace, we live from day to day. But I think that we are supposed to use our brains. We're supposed to be responsible, and we're supposed to be able to care for those around us. So if you're caring for yourself and you are prepared, then you're ready to put someone else's, oxygen mask on or whatever that prepared thing might be. So I want to start off with citing the CDC, which is the
Center for Disease Control.
Yes, I always call it CDC, yes. And that is a United States government agency that I have tremendous respect for. Oh my goodness, if we could only realize all that they do. So I would just want to go over really, really fast what they recommend. This is everyday preventive measures we should all be taking, not only when there is a scare or something new, but all the time. Here it is. Wash your hands often with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. We hear that, don't you?
Yeah.
You know, with my grandsons, I taught them how to sing happy birthday in their minds while they're washing their hands. Do I do it?
I know.
I need to. But here's the secret. I sing it really fast. We need to sing it twice.
Right.
Twice in your head while you wash your hands.
And that seems really slow. I actually did that this morning. I thought singing this, it seems like I'm singing forever.
Yes.
So it
I know,
just
isn't
seems
it crazy?
slow. Yes.
Our lives, we are so instant. We want to just not waste any time.
I know, 20 seconds.
But that's important. Tops and bottoms, in between the fingers, everything, fingernails, all of it. Now here is a little hint from them. They say if soap and water are not available, and this is not only after using the bathroom,
right,
but after touching things in a public area, if you're in a restaurant, if you open the door, if you grab something out in the world, and you don't have soap and water available, use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer. Now, make sure it's alcohol-based. Not all of them are.
Right.
Because we're so freaking about, substances and so forth. I would suggest to carry something like this with you for your children, for yourself. The next thing is to avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth with unwashed hands. That means if you didn't wash your hands in the last 10 minutes, hands off, wait till you get to a restroom to do whatever you want to touch up on your makeup or whatever. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. That makes sense. We don't always adhere to that, especially if we're a preschool teacher. If we are a parent who works and has a sick child, you think, well, it's just a little runny nose. Let's be more aware about that. Stay home when you're sick. Cover your cough or sneeze with a tissue. Then throw the tissue in the trash. If you don't have a tissue handy, sneeze into your sleeve, something other than your skin that you're going to touch other people with.
I remember when I taught preschool, this was the one thing we taught the kids over and over and over. Cough into your elbow. Cough into your arm.
Yes. And kids learn that quickly.
Really fast.
They do.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't question it.
Nope.
Yeah, that's good. Wish we would all learn that.
Mm-hmm.
Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects and surfaces. We're going to talk about a little bit more about that in a minute. And these are everyday habits that we can all do, that we can adopt, that will help prevent the spread of several different kinds of viruses. Now, they don't know a lot about this coronavirus. Well, there's a lot of theories now. The CDC is just dying to get their hands on the information, the research that has been done already. But there's some thought that it's being transmitted from animals to human.
Wow.
Which is kind of sad. We don't know what kind of animals. I'm not even going to get into that at all. But the human-to-human thing is still up in the air. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk about traveling first, because I just got home and you're headed out, right?
I am headed out, yes.
Okay. How soon? Like a couple of days from
hours.
now?
No.
A few hours. Oh, there. We got to
So
get Julie ready to go.
for us. Yes,
all
we
right,
have to be ready to go. So, Mary, one other quick thing that I was just thinking of as you were giving us that really good information is I remember one thing I did with my kids their last couple of years of high school, not even when they were little, is in high school, every time you come home from school, and now I do it every time I come home, I just go wash my hands.
Yes.
And it's huge. It kept us so much healthier. Just that little
That's right. And
routine.
And you know what? My doctor told me this. He said, don't buy antibacterial soap. Mm-hmm. Don't do it. Regular hand soap will kill those germs and won't build up a tolerance should you come in contact with a bacteria, because some of those antibacterial things, they break down your immunity or do something weird. I can't remember what it was.
Wow.
But he suggested that he'd like to see them taken off the market.
Interesting.
Really? Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about what we can do to protect ourselves.
Help me to get on the plane.
You need to carry a few things with you. But first I'm going to say, perhaps today is not the day to go to China. You should avoid travel to China.
Yeah.
And I would say anywhere out of the country. I don't know. I kind of like being home. But anyway.
Maybe Asia. Yeah.
Avoid contact with sick people. If you see that you're going to be seated next to someone who is clearly ill, ask to be reseated. That is not rude. That is not anything other than smart. While you're on the plane, wash your hands with soap and water. 20 seconds, all of that thing. And use a hand sanitizer. It's impossible to avoid touching anything.
Oh, it is.
You're going to be touching things. You're going to avoid contact with others. Don't travel while you're sick. Cover your nose and mouth with the tissue or your sleeve, just like we talked about. All of those things that are routine at home, you should continue when you're on the plane. Now, the CDC has issued a few more guidelines that I want to talk about before we get into the specific product that I absolutely love. Anyway, You want to identify high-touch surfaces. These are handles of doors. These are anything like that. As you get on the plane, try not to touch anything. There's a little handrail as you walk down the jetway.
Right.
You don't need to touch it unless you're disabled. Let's talk about being disabled or needing help. If you're in a wheelchair, nobody sanitized that wheelchair. You are a germ magnet, okay? So now let me tell you about my own little routine. And this is something that I have learned over the years. People who have read my blog for the last 15 years know that I am a huge fan of something called Knockout. And it is spelled with an N, not a K. It's Knockout, Knockout. A quick little history on how I ever learned about it. A reader once wrote to me, this is way back before the internet, and asked me, how she could get the stinky smell out of some books that were very dear to her. Wow. Old, musty books. You know that smell?
I do know that smell.
It is mildew.
Like,
it is mold. Those books have gotten wet and then they have been sealed up.
Yeah. Nothing could get that smell out, probably.
And for some reason, I took this on as a personal project, and I went through all kinds of hoops to do research, which wasn't easy before the internet came into its own. But I discovered this substance called Knockout, and I wrote about it, that I had heard about it. It showed up in the newspaper. Well, guess what? The woman who owned the company happened to be reading that and contacted me many years ago, a dear lady named Lou. She was actually a distributor. This is not a multi-level thing at all, but this was something that had been discovered by somebody in Louisiana years ago, and he was creating this substance called Knockout. It was created for odor elimination. However, they discovered that not only does it eliminate odors, it eliminates the bacteria and the viruses that can cause odors.
It's amazing.
That's as far as my scientific knowledge goes. However, Lou and I became fast friends, and I suggested this substance, this liquid, to this woman who had written to me, and Lou walked her through how to do it, how to knock out this odors in her books. It worked like a charm. She was able to save these precious books. Since then, I have become a devoted user of Knockout. Here's the thing. It's a scientific thing. I'm not a scientist, but they have explained it to me many times. Whereas some odor treatments just cover up the odor or try to mask it. Right. And that happens a lot. The odor remains, as does the bacteria, virus, or whatever that might have caused that odor. Knockout, however, it's a chemical reaction that it has to hit whatever it is that is causing the odor, including the bacteria, virus, whatever. And in a period of about 10 minutes, it takes about 10 minutes for something to happen called oxidation. It chemically changes that, and it kills. Absolutely. Now, I've got to be careful here. Knockout is an odor eliminator There is a sister product now that will kill this virus. They don't know for certain about coronavirus because it has not yet been tested, but it kills SARS. It kills HIV. It kills these things and turns them into ordinary oxygen. And that's what it does to odors as well.
Sounds safe if it turns it into oxygen.
It's very safe. Now, let me tell you this. What we need to know, there's something called the EPA, which is the Environmental Protection Agency. A product in this country cannot claim to be EPA approved unless it has gone through rigorous testing. Knockout went through rigorous testing, and they discovered that it didn't work in 10 minutes. It took much longer than that.
Wow.
Because it is a weaker substance than what they came out with called Sniper, S-N-I-P-E-R. It's made by the same company, but it is the heavy-duty, strong version of Knockout. Now, if I could show you both of them right here, pretend. It looks like water. There is absolutely no odor to it, no fragrance. It is not toxic in that it is not poisonous. It is poisonous to bacteria and viruses. Yes, it is. But it is a wonderful, wonderful product. Now, I tell you this because I live and breathe with Sniper. I want my house, maybe not always tidy, but I'll tell you something. Germs do not abound for very long in this house because we take care of them with Sniper. And I travel with Sniper. Now, let me tell you something from experience. My goal is to, before I even take my seat, put my bags away, I wash my hands down with Sniper. You can do that. It's not a problem at all. It is people-friendly, pet-friendly. It is just an amazing thing. And then I would spray my seat, spray the arms, spray the tray, the button, everything, the seat, everything. Just give it a whisk of spray. That doesn't work well with people standing there.
Yeah.
They do not take kindly. It's not a good thing. So what I have
you get
learned,
some looks, maybe.
Yes. And by the way, I am going to, no, not I, Julie, is going to give you all the links, resources that you need in the show notes, how you can get Sniper, and learn more about Knockout. They have a wonderful website. I'll give you an update on my friend Lou and her son Ted, who run the business now. But anyway, what Lou taught me, which is such a better idea, is I carry with me a Ziploc bag in which I have taken a good quality paper towels, folded them into like little wet wipes, put them in there, and they are completely saturated with Sniper. And there's no odor to them. You look at them, looks just like wet wipes. And people don't have a problem with that. You're going to see a lot of people today, Julie. They're going to be doing this to their seats because the airlines are even suggesting that you do this. They don't sanitize planes between flights. I don't think they ever do, actually. but that is one thing that we can do. And I suggest that during this season of unknowing, when we aren't sure what's going on, when we want to be proactive, not reactive, that we make sure that our environments and that of our children are sanitized. Now, let me tell you how safe Sniper and Knockout both are. And I use Knockout all the time for odors, anything that's smelly. If you read my stuff, you know all about this already.
Oh, yeah. They're great. It's great on pet.
Absolutely.
A lot of smells.
Yes, and you can use Sniper on your pets as well and their messes. But if you go on the CDC site, we'll give you a link to that exact page. They say right out here, they say, use a household disinfectant with a label that says EPA approved. Sniper has that label, okay? They also say that you can make your own solution if you need it in the interim. And here is their recipe, which I use all the time, and I'll tell you why, and why I don't use it on the plane. I use it only certain ways.
So the recipe is from the CDC?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It's right here, the CD. They want you to use chlorine bleach, Clorox, Purex, one of those. Add 1 tablespoon of bleach to 1 quart, 4 cups, that's 1 quart, of tepid water. Don't make it warm. It will make it evaporate and won't be any good anymore. And trust me, this won't stay fresh very long. You just make a little bit at a time. 1 tablespoon of bleach to 1 quart of water, or 1/4 cup of bleach to 1 gallon, but that's an awful lot to make at once. because what happens is chlorine bleach, it will evaporate. But here's why I don't want to do this on a regular basis. I don't want to spray that around. Number one, it smells. Number two, it could wreck anything that's made of fabric. I mean, who wants little bleach marks everywhere?
Right. You'll see the evidence of it.
Yes, this is very weak. It's a very weak solution. But in a pinch, if you need to do this, that's exactly what you want to do. Mm-hmm. Now, back to Sniper and Knockout. Remarkable products, absolutely remarkable products, because they have an indefinite shelf life. You do not want to heat them, though. If you heat it, put it with boiling water, you're going to lose the effectiveness. It will dissipate.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So you want to do it with room temperature water if you dilute it. But for our purposes here, we want to use Sniper or Knockout absolutely straight from the container. But remember, Knockout is slightly less expensive, a little bit cheaper, but that is for odor elimination only. And if you want to add the feature of it killing those bacteria and virus within the 10 minutes. Now, let me tell you how you would use this at home. Say you've got a baby. You've got a baby crib. Yes, you can spray down that baby crib with Sniper. You can spray the sheets. You can spray everything. Just don't put the baby in there for a little while, okay? Let's just be smart. Give it that full 10 minutes. Let it air dry completely. Do not rinse it off. Do not wipe it off. You want to leave it there. It needs that time to do that oxidation thing. And make Sniper wet wipes to carry with you. Julie, I just gifted you. Did you see over here? I have them for you for your flight.
I did. I can't wait to use them. I have my great little pack to wipe down.
Yes.
I'm so thankful.
And I want to also suggest that as you walk into that hotel,
yes,
you walk up, you're going to put your hand on the handle. I don't know if no one's looking, you don't want to look like a freak, but
right.
Go ahead and wipe it down. Or if you get into the room, make sure you wash your hands immediately. Now, let's talk about your hotel room.
Oh.
It's been cleaned by the housekeeping staff. It has not been sanitized.
Right. Even nice hotels.
That's right. And the sanitized means that germs have been killed. So I would suggest, put your suitcase down or whatever. Designate an area in the room. It could be the countertop by the TV, someplace where you will put your things. Go get a a hand towel out of the bathroom. Lay it on there like a tablecloth, okay? Now, put your wallet, your room key, those kinds of things there. Make sure those things are being cleaned with your wipes, your Sniper wipes, okay? Next, the TV remote. It's the germiest place on earth. I would sanitize your bathroom, the flush handle.
Yeah.
Anything you're going to touch, the toilet seat, all of it. You don't know who was there before you. You don't know who. Housekeeping may be sick.
Right.
You just don't know.
Right.
Don't assume anything. Mm-hmm. All right. You want to be proactive. I gave you quite a few wipes there. I think you'll have enough for 2 flights going.
Oh, it's a great little pack.
Yes. And so I just want to reiterate, we're not panicked. We're being wise. We're going to help our kids. We're going to teach them how to sing happy birthday twice while they wash their hands. It's a good thing to do. And we do all we can. And then we put ourselves into God's hands. We live by grace alone. Okay, everybody? I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you learned something. I would suggest that you go to knockout.com if you want to learn more right away. We are going to give you a link in the show notes. So that's all I wanted to bring you up to date on my friends Lou and Ted. Lou is my friend who owns the Knockout distributorship, and her son Ted, I think probably co-owner, and also runs the business now. Lou, what a wonderful woman. She's now retired, but she still writes and lives all about Knockout. She just loves teaching us. And I'm grateful that I found her so many years ago. Thank you, Lou. We'll talk soon. See you, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Mary. What a great way to know that we don't have to be scared. We just can be prepared and then face what's out there. If you have a great success story that you've had with Knockout, if you've ever tried Sniper or Knockout and you'd like to tell us of your successes with it, we would love to hear it, and Mary will pass it on to Lou. So tell us in the comments box below the show notes that you'll find when you click the Read More link on our podcast page. And then also, don't miss Everyday Cheapskate's new expert community, EC2. You can win money by sharing your great tips with other readers. Find out more when you click Share a Tip at everydaycheapskate.com. Thank you. You've been listening to Debt Proof Living with Mary Hunt. Debt Proof Living with Mary Hunt was created and hosted by Mary Hunt, produced by Julie Emerson, with Harold Hunt, executive producer. Save time and save money every day. Make it easy on yourself. Just subscribe at everydaycheapskate.com. That's where you'll find all the ways you can follow Mary, follow Everyday Cheapskate, and Debt Proof Living. Thanks for listening.